Brian with you again. I filmed these videos using iMovie on my MacBook Pro. So just a few minutes ago, I did this video and iMovie quit unexpectedly and the video was gone. So I'm going to do it again and hopefully, maybe it'll be better than the first time. I'm not sure. This is a contest entry for Sam St. John. On his channel, he's doing a push to 300 subscribers. And as typical with vinyl community contests, if you subscribe and create a video response, you'll be entered into a contest. And I actually can't remember what the prize is. But the contest is fairly straightforward. It's just simply to show the last 5 artists you've been listening to. So that's what I'm going to do today. And hopefully iMovie will cooperate this time and I won't have to do it again. So the first thing I've been listening to recently is a band called Broken Social Scene. This is an indie rock group, sometimes known as a musical collective. Their music is sometimes described as Baroque pop. And I think musical collective is a pretty good description because there's a very large number of people associated with this band. There's Kevin Drew, Andrew Whiteman, Brendan Canning. I'm going to forget someone. There's lots more. And a number of associated people who record with them, including Feist and Emily Haynes. Because of that, there's a large number of, I guess you call them splinter groups or other projects that center around Broken Social Scene. So the Stars, Apostle of Hustle, Do Make Say Think, Emily Haynes and Soft Skeleton, Feist, of course. So it's a really vibrant and interesting collection of musicians, and they put out some really interesting records. This one's called Hug of Thunder. It's from 2017. It's the 5th record. I haven't had it that long, but although I do like it, I don't know if I like it yet as much as I like the first 4 records. I think it's pretty good, though. It's a double record. It has inside a stitched-in booklet, so for every song, there is lyrics and piece of art. Probably not going to show them all to you, because that would take a while. But as you flip through, you'll see a number of, and I haven't really investigated who painted these and where they came from. I think the interior is actually really great. I like the design of this, and I like the folded in or the stitched in. And here's the band, everyone who's involved with this. So you can see it's a lot of people. I mentioned a few. I missed a couple. Jason Collette, I missed him. But yeah, it's a large number of people who are involved in this band. Over 2 records. So each record has, again, some more art and the songs here. So that's one. It's a very well-known band in this area. So I think they're really good. The second item is something I mentioned not so long ago because I'd won a contest and I ended up picking up this record, which is Leviathan from Robert Fripp and The Grid. So Robert Fripp, obviously from King Crimson, and The Grid is made up of 2 people, Dave Ball, who is from Soft Cell, and Richard Norris. I don't know much about them. So although they're kind of like an electronic dance band, I wouldn't call this electronic dance music. When I mentioned this record the first time, I didn't know too much about it because I hadn't listened to it. This came out this year. The first record of the 2 records in here. Okay, I should also say that these were based on soundscapes that Robert Fripp did with the band, and they were forgotten about. That was many, many years ago. I think the 80s or 90s. I can't remember now. And they were rediscovered by the band, by The Grid, and they decided to do something with them. So most of the first record is fairly straightforward Robert Fripp soundscapes. So he's known for doing these feedback loops with his guitar, or I guess not really feedback, but a looping effect. And of course he did that with Brian Eno and others over the years, sometimes called Frippertronics. I have a number of his soundscapes on CD, a whole set of like 6 or 7 of them. And they sound very similar to one another. So if you know those, you wouldn't be surprised by the first record in here, or most of the first record. It's kind of like a drone loop of guitars, which doesn't sound like a guitar at all. Starting with the end of side 2, and then for the second record, there's more synths or tones or percussion put into it, which I actually like better, because it gives the songs, I think, a bit more completed feeling to it. This is good though. I really like that kind of music that he's done, and I think this is really good. Perhaps not as good as the stuff that he did with Eno, but I still think it's pretty good. So That's the second thing, Fripp and the Grid. The third thing I've been listening to a lot recently is this Joe Strummer compilation called Assembly, and this is from 2021. This collects some of his post-Clash output, so the Mescalero, some of his solo stuff, that sort of thing. So in addition to the stuff you know if you followed Joe Strummer's career after the Clash, there's a couple of older songs. So he has a live version of I Fought the Law, the Clash song, a live version of Rudy Can't Fail. It was from London Calling. He does a cover version of Bob Marley's Redemption song, and I think he does a really excellent version of that. I was surprised at how good it is. So if you followed his career, none of these songs should be new to you, really, but they're collected here on this record. And I think this was a Record Store Day. Maybe I got that wrong. Might not have been a Record Store Day. I can't remember now. But inside, liner notes from Jacob Dylan, some images there as well. This is a really good collection, especially if you don't have any Joe Strummer. This would be a logical thing to pick up. I think it's really good. Next thing I've been listening to is Brian Eno's film music, 1976 to 2020. This double record collects a number of pieces that he has contributed to films and projects over the years. This pressing is quite incredible, though. I would say this is one of the best pressings I own. Probably audiophile quality, really quality, silent pressing. It's really, really great. And it collects pieces that you would probably have difficulty finding anywhere else. There are a couple pieces from Apollo here which are readily available, but much of the other stuff is just not really easily findable. And there's things that I don't even know where they're from, like the series Topple. I don't know what that is. There's something from The Lovely Bones, Francis Bacon's Arena. I don't know what that is. A few other things. There's a piece from Dune, something from Heat. There's actually an image. I think that's from Heat right here. Something from Hammerheads. I don't know what that is either. Married to the Mob. Is that something from here and there? There's also that piece from Train Spotting in The World's Worst Toilet. And a few other things that I don't really know about. It ends with a piece from Apollo, an ending or ascent. Inside there's just a bit more information and some images. So I think this is really excellent. I really like this collection. If you like the mellow Eno, this is probably a good one. If you like his rock music, it's going to sound completely different, but this is really good. The last thing I've been listening to recently is the latest Billy Bragg record from 2021 called The Million Things That Never Happened. It's a front, back. It's pretty simple design, lyrics on the inside. So this is good, but I have a feeling this might be a grower for me because it didn't grab me the way some other recent records from him did. Like Mr. Love and Justice, I thought I had an immediate connection with. Tooth and Nail as well. I thought that was immediately fantastic, and I loved every minute of it. This one, I'm not sure. It's more contemporary folk. It has lap steel guitar, which I am ambivalent about. And on the track "Freedom Doesn't Come Free," it starts with the whole hoedown fiddle sound, which I don't know whether it's something. It just reminds me of my youth with my grandparents. That kind of music doesn't really appeal to me, and I have a hard time with it. But on the other hand, 10 Mysterious Photos That Can't Be Explained, I think is good. The first two tracks are good. I think some of the others may be things that I have to sort of grow into. His son, Jack Valero, is on here as well on some tracks, and I think he helped with some of the writing. So it's not terrible. It's maybe more contemporary folk. It doesn't have this, the song "Freedom Doesn't Come Free," I think is the most political one on here. And it doesn't have that sort of, his early days, he was really in your face. I think, one-man Clash, I think someone described Billy Bragg as, but, he's older now. It's polished, though, and it's good. I shouldn't say it's not good. I have everything that Billy Bragg ever released, so it's good. It's just maybe it'll take some time to grow on me. So that's it. Five artists I've been listening to recently, and definitely, if you don't know Sam St. John's channel, go over there, and if you do, you might want to enter the contest. Thanks once again for watching. I'll see you next time.